Hey everyone, just a heads up. The audio in this episode is going to sound a little off, and it sounds like I'm kind of far away because we were experimenting with some things, but bear with us. So, back to the episode.
You know, I think my cheapest laugh would definitely be like that goat screaming shit. You know?
Like the ones that they put in the Taylor Swift video.
Yeah, it's between... It's between that one and then that fucking video where the guy squeezes the ducks in the store and they let out that scrap of hell scream. Yeah.
It sounds like a bunch of demons escaping.
And that one really never fails to make me laugh. I think, like, in any given circumstances, that one will always get to me.
The goat screaming just sound... I don't know, the sound that it makes doesn't sound like... It's a sound that doesn't look like it should come from a goat. You know?
I don't know, goats are weird, though.
Sounding.
Have you seen, like, that thing where the goats want to, like, stand up and then they get scared and they fall over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they have narcolepsy or something.
No, dude, those things are fucking weird. And then if you
freeze up.
You ever look at a goat, man, the eyes are
their
so...
eyeballs?
God, I hate it. I can't stand them.
The square eyeballs are for prey animals because it gives them the widest vision, and so it's easier to see.
I was going to say, because it makes them stand out and look stupid so they can get hunted better. That way they're prey.
Don't octopi have those too?
Dude, I don't know.
There's gotta be other
Dude, is it octopi or is it octopuses?
octopi.
Is it?
No, I think I read once that it's
Octopen?
both of them work. Octopen.
Octopen.
It's like the not the Jim Gaffigan. Whose bit was that?
Oh, it was Brian Regan's
Yeah, Brian
bit.
Regan's bit about moose and moosin'. Anyways, welcome to episode
What episode is this? 8?
8 question mark? Yeah, I think it's 8.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Do you think there'll be a point in the future where we'll stop having to say the episode and we just go with it?
Reasonably, that could have been this one, but like...
I kind of like that when we announce it because it's like, this is how far we've made it.
That's true. It's kind of like a measure of achievement for us.
Yeah. Look at the difference from episode 1 to episode 8. Well, episode 0. We didn't even say anything for episode 0. That's because I just hit record on my phone.
We just did it, right? Yeah. Oh, we got introductions and such. Yeah, wow. Look at us. Welcome to the special Thanksgiving episode.
Special Thanksgiving.
We've got a lot of just questions for this one.
Depending on how we actually, or when we put this out, it may or may not be on Thanksgiving, but we're trying. At least it's closer than
the Halloween one
attempt, which I'm not done with yet. But I should have it out tomorrow, maybe, probably.
Not done with it yet, as if it's the day before Halloween,
Posted.
right?
Yeah,
if only.
it's all right. Nobody's perfect. I got to work it again and again until I get it right. I kind of had said that with the Christopher Walken cadence. Nobody's perfect. I got to work it. I should do an episode where I just talk in a different voice.
It's like a solo episode, or it's you.
Yeah, I bet you I could do that if I just record myself in
I mean, I'm not questioning your ability to do it.
I'll be like, well, hey there, Aaron, I'm Goofy. And then it'll be like...
You see, with that one might need a little work, because I couldn't tell if you were trying to do Cosby or Goofy.
I like the idea of using a Mickey Mouse voice, but you give very threatening words like, I'm gonna kill everyone you love, huh?
Have you seen that one Robot Chicken episode where they're like, it's the bop it thing, and they're like, twist it, bop it, load it, aim it,
cock it, shoot it, shoot it.
That's what I kind of imagine with like Mickey Mouse and a threatening sort of thing.
Robot Chicken has some moments of brilliance, and then other times it's just like, why?
Adult Swim in general is like full of these little gems. I was watching this show, for all of you who don't know it, Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. Do you know that show?
Yeah, it's old.
It's like 2003, but they show it on Hulu, and I recently just found it. And
you're binging it?
I'm just binging all of it. It's really easy to watch because they're only 10-minute episodes, but like that show's so fucking like esoteric. There's so many just weird references to it. And it's pretty clever as well. Like they repurpose lots of old cartoon characters to be within different contexts. Like my favorite is from the first season when they repurpose the Flintstones to being like, a Sopranos style family where
Did they use like the actual Flintstones voice actors and stuff?
I don't think they use the actual voice actors because I'm guessing those voice actors are really old. Oh. But they definitely like did their best.
The Flintstones, they're Stone Age.
The best part. Okay, got me there. No, but like they made it so that it's like a mafia or mobster style thing. I don't know. This show's just really weird. Check it out. You can talk to me about it if you want.
Flintstones and mobsters makes me think of that one meme where it's Fred and he's in kind of a suit with a pistol in his hand. It's like, forgive me, Father, for what I must yabba dabba do.
Fuck. Jeez.
I love this.
Anyways, back to the point.
Yeah, there's our riff-raff. We're, this has been a good Thanksgiving episode so far. Fuck, my voice cracked already.
And we're one check mark
Taking
in.
them off.
For those following at home.
We've been talking about Reddit up until right before we recorded, so I guess it counts.
We're trying to get it all up before
And
we
also
started.
now we did it, so...
Anyway, so in this Thanksgiving episode, we've got a lot of things to cover. You know, I think we got to start off with, like, what are you thankful for?
Yeah.
You got to start
That's
right
the
in
whole point
center
of
field.
Thanksgiving, right?
Sure.
We want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'll go first. You know, what am I thankful for? I mean, there's a lot of things to be thankful for. You know, I'm really thankful that, you know, I live somewhere and, like, I'm not couch surfing like I was last year.
I'm not dead.
You know, like all the general ones. I think something that I'm really thankful for is starting this whole podcast series was really, you know, a great thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you talk about it a whole lot and you never really know if you're going to get it off the ground because, you know, lots of people have good banter with their friends and there's always that idea that we could start something like this and maybe have it push off the ground and it'd be really cool because we think we're funny.
Yeah.
But it takes like another step or two to actually move it in that direction. And so like this is such a cool thing for me to be a part of and like, you know, it's really fun being a part of the process and just like doing this on the regular.
I just think the prospect of starting creative projects like this is especially difficult because it requires everybody who's going to be involved with it to give the green light, you know? And
Yeah.
be like, I'll set my time aside to do this and have it be okay with the other people. Because if you want to start something by your own, like recording a song or something, you don't have anybody else to blame other than you if you don't decide to pull the trigger on that idea. But
Yeah.
when you have something that's organized with things like this that require more than one person, yeah, you need to work around other people. And it's awesome that both of us, and sometimes Dan and sometimes Peter, have decided to
Very, very occasionally,
continue
Peter.
to do this, you know?
I think he's got a total runtime of like 5 minutes.
It's like one episode that he was actually in and then a cameo in
The end of the other one.
episode. Oh, by the way, speaking of cameos, rest in peace, Stanley. He's dead.
Oh man.
died.
Oh shoot. See, we can't make this become a thing where
We
we
keep
talk
talking about dead
people.
people. Okay.
You know, rips Stan Lee.
Rip Stanley, there you go.
95 though, you know, pretty solid.
Pretty good, yeah.
I mean,
Infinity War 4 is supposed to be the longest movie in the MCU, so I'm looking forward to that.
lots of things to be thankful for.
I'm thankful for
in
the
that
MCU and that it's brought nerd culture somewhat to the forefront and that it's made it kind of more cool and acceptable to like things like comic books and stuff. Because, I mean, you and I have kind of been in that realm of geeky video game stuff and now
It's always been the norm
coming
for us.
around. Yeah, it's coming around more to a broader audience, which is totally the effort of multiple industries coming together with.
Well, I also
music
think like the
and video.
social stigma surrounding all of these things used to be a little bit more, I guess, not so nice,
Yeah,
right? Like
I don't
being
know if
into
I'd call it taboo, but it's more like lame is a better word for
Yeah,
it,
I
right?
suppose so. Like there's all this weird social stigma surrounding being a video game player or like doing anything that it's went against our conceptions of what being cool was.
Mhm.
But I guess like with, you know, there were so many people who read comic books and so many people who were into this sort of like built universe that Stan Lee and that whole like comic book hero universe
DC.
created. And so like, I think with that becoming a movie fad, like people are just becoming more comfortable with talking about it and sharing their passions for these sort of things.
Yeah, and it also helps that they always get incredibly attractive celebrities to play all the main character roles.
But I
so-
think it's because these celebrities were really big fans of it when they were kids too. So this is like a dream for them.
Well, now it's like all the people who have always been viewed as cool are starting to be like, yeah, it's okay to show that I like these nerdy things. Like you regularly see NBA or NFL players that are like, yeah, I'm playing video games or like watching anime or something, and everyone's like, oh, cool. Well, they're still a superstar, but I guess they like other things other than sports or money things all the time.
Yeah, I
So-
guess that level of transparency with like a sort of role model is really cool, especially with ones that do things that we do on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Like I always thought it was really cool to hear about that one guy. What was his name? The guy who played for Butler, who plays League.
I know who you're talking about, but I
Yeah,
don't
yeah. I
remember
can't remember his name to save my life right now, but to learn that he was like a regular League of Legends player was pretty funny,
Yeah.
especially at a time when we were getting into it. Or to even learn that, like, you know, this is kind of an older fact, but like Michael Jordan was a really big pianist, and like he did lots
Really?
of,
I
yeah,
didn't
he
know
used to
that.
play piano like frequently, and regardless of how good he was, it's sort of just, it's a cool thing to see that he tried to play as much, or at least I was told he tried to play as much as he could.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's really interesting.
So I'm thankful for everybody's efforts to bring their own personal joys and favorite ideas and such to the forefront to let other people who are more scared to show that side of them that it's okay.
Yeah. And you know, like, I think another thing that I'm very thankful for this like whole entire year is just, I guess, while going back to school, you sort of get a different view or orientation of things. And so it's given me a lot of time to think about what I want to do and think about all these projects that I want to undertake. And so, like, this being like a microcosm for all these smaller things that I want to start doing, I've had a better vision for trying to go forward and start these little creative projects and maybe see where they go and understand that some of them don't get everywhere, but like that's just a part of it.
So this is like a little peek into the future as to how much goes into starting a project and such.
Yeah. And I mean, the type of dedication that goes into starting it. And I mean, I think this goes for like most podcasts, but there's lots of background work that goes on with like trying to put these episodes out, preparing for them, and like thinking about topics and thinking about questions we can go for, and maybe even like trying to invite people onto the show when it's possible. And, you know, everyone's really busy. And so, like you said before, trying to get people's like schedules to coalesce so that we're all here at the same time and all able to do it comfortably. It's a big old project. And so like, it's just really, this one thing starting really started the ball rolling for lots of other things for me to get going as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Coalesce. Good vernacular.
Thanks.
You like my vernacular?
Vernacular?
My vernacular?
I like a colloquialism.
Ooh.
How's that one?
That's a
Add
spicy
that one to the
one.
list.
That's a spicy meatball. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of things, even, I don't know, a lot of things in general just have a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. Like, as much as it's totally possible just to hit record and then immediately upload it, like, if you want it to sound good and stuff, you gotta go the extra mile and clean it up and make it look pretty. 'Cause it's not like if you go to a wedding, you just throw on a shirt and shorts. You gotta dress up and maybe accessorize. This would be a perfect segue if we were sponsored by a watch company. That
yeah,
would
yeah.
Accessorize with Movement, Vincero, I don't know, Timex,
IWC
Omega,
would be really
IWC.
nice.
Please sponsor us, send us nice watches, and then we'll mention you on the podcast. Well, we're already doing it. God damn it.
So there you go.
Here's
That's
your
free
trial.
advertisement.
Give us that quiche, that cash money.
Yeah, that's something that I could be very thankful for if it happened. Hint, hint.
Right.
Yeah.
I think another thing I'm thankful for is the fact that we're still young, right? Like,
that's waning very soon.
as I'm getting older, and I don't want to sound like one of those people that's like, I'm old, and then there's like a 30-year-old that's like, well, wait until you're 30, and then above them is like, well, wait until you're 40. Like, I totally get that there's a chain of people that does that, and it's true, you know, like 5 to 10 years is a huge gap when you think about it, but we're starting to get to the point where we're more or less fully developed with our brains and getting to the point where life experience is sort of plateauing, I guess. I don't know
That's
if
pretty
I'd say,
bleak.
I don't know if I'd say it's plateauing, but it's at a less volatile time in certain aspects.
Yeah.
Like, we're pretty much in the workforce, whatever you want to define that as, and we don't have to go through the daily struggles of like student life as much as, you know, high school or undergrad. But yeah, as that goes on, I'm kind of remembering that, like, oh, well, I'm never going to be as young as I am now, so I might as well make the most of it. So I'm thankful that my body is like still good. My health is pretty decent, you know.
I think that's why it's also the time to start doing little projects like this too, because you kind of recognize at a certain point, like, I'm not getting any younger. Like, and that's such an old person thing to say. Like, oh, I'm not getting any younger. Better start this thing. But in reality, we're not too far off from the late 20s at this point. I mean, that too. You know about that thing that's like, it's this pop culture thing where after a certain point, your brain stops growing and you start dying. I don't know. That's
like
have you heard about that?
like the physical thing.
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
Like you peak at 32 or so,
Or
and then
some
you
shit,
start going down,
and then you start dying. Your body just starts the slow
crumbling
descent
away
towards
So
its
Mr.
eternal
Stark,
rest.
I don't feel so good.
Stop. I can't believe we were able to spoil the ending in this podcast.
Oh, it's well, a lot of people saw that meme before they even saw the movies.
Yeah, I guess
it's been
so.
out for like almost. Actually, no, it hasn't been out for a year yet.
Yeah.
Black Panther was this year. Holy crap!
I saw this meme recently, and here we are. Here's our meme reference, where they were talking about the Tide Pod thing happening in January, and I'm just like, what?
It felt like it was a really long time ago.
It felt like it was years ago, and I felt like we as a human race have developed so much beyond that, but actually it's only been
That's
what,
internet
like
speed,
11
internet
months.
Time.
Yeah, internet time is totally
It's a
different from
hyperbolic
regular
time
time.
chamber in there.
I just can't believe we actually went through that. I think my favorite thing to remember is that fucking time when the clowns were coming out. Do you remember that?
For when it was being promoted?
Wasn't there that one town that like beat the shit out of one of them?
Yeah, I watched a bunch of videos where it was just compilations of clowns trying to scare people, and then the people they tried to scare would get pissed and then just beat the shit out of them. That was really funny.
See, that's the type of vigilante justice I want to
Yeah.
see.
I like to believe I'd be the type of person that can throw the punch, but I'm pretty sure I'd run away. I think I said that on the last one too when we were talking about.
We're gonna say it on the
being
next one as
scared.
well. It's gonna be totally natural and totally organic the way we say it.
You know, watching all the other podcasts and other things I do on YouTube, like long running series with the same people, when they start to mention that they don't remember what they said in previous episodes and whether or not they're just repeating themselves, totally get what that feeling is like now. It's like a broken record tape at this point, and we're only 8 episodes in.
Yeah. Oh my god. I had a professor who would do that, and I loved hearing these stories, but like you'd hear them like 4 or 5 times over the course of an entire semester. And it's kind of like, yeah, I remember this one, but you got to let them have it because they're so excited about it. And you don't want to kill that thunder, that mojo.
It's like all they have.
Really? Just memories at this point.
Yeah. Like you said, they're not getting any younger. Ugh.
I mean,
that's like a shower thought though, right? Like
what?
You're never going to be as young as you were yesterday.
You want to post it to Reddit?
Ugh, I'm sure
you want to
somebody's
get
already
that
done
nice
that.
sweet
That
karma?
easy. All right. Is there anything else that we're thankful for?
No.
Food, the variety in food that if you want something salty, you can go get salty food. If you want sweet food, you can.
I mean, that is kind of nice about being young now. I think we just have that choice. Like, that's another part about it.
Yeah.
Like, we're not really hampered by money too
Variety
much.
is the spice of life. So, and variety meaning options. Why did I say that weird? Options, opportunities. Like since we're only at the beginning of our young adulthood, there's many paths and avenues that we can take. But at the same time, for me personally, I don't know how you feel about it, but it kind of scares me sometimes because it's sort of that overwhelming feeling where it's like there's so many possibilities that it's almost like I don't know anything that I want to do and I don't know if I want to pick it. But I feel like that's part of the struggle of growing up. So
I just have this overwhelming fear that like the path towards getting to the point just is this completely elongating path that never stops getting elongated. And you're just sort of walking in the same direction.
Like a hamster
infinitely.
wheel.
Kind of like that, you know, where the whole goal is receding as you walk towards it.
Much like our hairline.
Shh, not
If
yet.
we were sponsored by him, so it would have been. Man, I'm coming up with all these great segues. If we ever
This
get
is just
sponsored,
a
I'd be
demo
so
for
happy.
advertisements.
Yeah.
Think about that. This will be the demo episode for the advertisements.
Yeah, put us out there. Share us with your favorite company that will give us money, and we'll totally shill for it.
Right. So for Thanksgiving, since we're doing this episode, what are your like favorite Thanksgiving traditions? Like, what do you normally do on Thanksgiving?
For me, I don't know how it is with you, but all of my family is in Illinois, more or less. So we always have one of the holidays spent at a different person's house. So we'll have Christmas at my Uncle Edgar's place, and then Thanksgiving we have at my Uncle Richard's place. So Thanksgiving this year, of course, is going to be there. But of course, like everybody else, I think eating is my favorite part of it, just because it's the one.
Is there anything else that happens in Thanksgiving?
I don't know. Well,
I feel as if Thanksgiving should like it would really have an extra thing. Like Christmas has the eating and the presents, and like Easter has the
snow.
eating and Jesus, and like Valentine's Day has eating and lovey times.
Well, you
and,
know
like,
how Christmas has like snow is a very big part of it. I think because there's no real change in the environment during Thanksgiving, aside from the leaves changing different colors, it doesn't seem as spectacular. Also, when we were talking earlier, or we were talking about decorations, right?
Yeah.
Like Thanksgiving, I don't know. It's not as colorful as Christmas or Halloween.
Yeah, it's because everything's dying, and that's like the colors we associate it. Like the leaves are dying, and the trees are like they're going bare. Like that's the things we associate it with, and it's kind of nice, but also like leaves are a hassle, and it's the color of death. So,
Wait,
like,
did you say? Wait, what did you say? I thought you
What?
said. I misheard you, and I thought you said leaves are a asshole.
yeah, that's what I said. For the record, that's it.
Yeah,
There's not really much else with it. There's no wonder like in watching the leaves fall. I mean, the whole fucking like season's named after the fact that like they're falling to the ground.
maybe
Like,
Thanksgiving was sort of a ploy just to be like, wow, this is kind of a shitty time of the year. Let's
yeah, we
come up with
need
a night-
something to get us through until
focus on,
Christmas.
right?
Yeah. It's just like a placeholder holiday. Gets us through.
Placeholder holiday. That's a good description of
That's pretty disrespectful,
Sweetest
don't you
day.
think? Oh my god, sweetest day. I can't get over these like these terrible Hallmark holidays that are coming up. Well, they have like a day, there's like a fucking name for every single day. Like, oh, today's cheesecake day, or today's is like, scented pine cone day or some
it's
shit.
all an excuse to make the masses spend their money on their products.
Yeah, on cards.
Yeah.
You ever get like a really bad homemade card? Have you ever gotten those before?
No, all of the ones that I have gotten that were homemade were actually like pretty nice. So luckily the people that have given me any homemade ones were arts and crafty enough to make a decent one. Why have you gotten a particularly bad one?
I used to get
Tell us who made it.
So I used to get these
Throw them
cards
under the bus right now.
from my cousins. You get
Okay.
these cards that were like they had word art on it,
Yeah.
and they'd be folded on like a 9x11 sheet of paper.
Word art, like clip art, like you
Yeah,
can
like-
find in
like-
Microsoft Word.
Yeah, like clip art.
Nice.
Yeah, and it'd have like those big headers where you can like change the color, and they're
Yeah.
like nice arced headers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, it'd be like they'd have that on
Did
it.
it even have the whole happy birthday? Or was it just like HBD?
HBD would have been cooler than that. It has happy birthday spell out in all caps.
That's the equivalent of when people would write hags
Oh
in
man,
people's
Hack-ass?
yearbooks. Hack-ass. Yeah.
Hackus.
Have a kick-ass summer, right? That's that one. What that was.
Yeah, I don't know why that was so cool. That one
It
like
was easy and it was fast.
I don't know. Hags was fun, and Hackass was just like, wow, you're so edgy.
It's like
yeah, it's like, oh, you said
you
ass.
put
Like,
slightly
oh.
more effort into your already 3 to 4 letter signing.
You must like me a little bit more than poorly.
You know what I'm thankful for? I'm thankful for the friends that would write nice messages in my yearbook, like nice heartfelt messages.
yeah,
Yeah.
I always left a few that were really nice.
Yeah, I always like to write like decent messages.
Did
even
you
though
do
I was,
that
like,
thing where like you left an entire page for like specific people?
No, I would box off sections for if I wrote paragraphs for
Huh.
myself, but I just let. People
Are you saying
go
that you would
willy-nilly.
sign your own yearbook?
No, yeah. I go, thanks, Aaron. You did a really good job this year. I hope to see you next year. And then I'd read it and it'd be like, oh, Aaron's really nice. I hope I get to see him next year. And then I look in the mirror and
You have
realize
hags on it
it's me.
as well.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole, man.
Yeah. And then I start to have an existential crisis again because it's my brain that's talking to me.
Your brain is the only organ that named itself. There we're back. We're back to the last episode.
All right. What about you? Do you have your traditions? Anything different other than
it's just
regular?
like we just eat, like, and so normally what we do is we'd go up to my grandmother's house in Michigan, but since both of my grandparents on my dad's side have passed away, we haven't really the last Thanksgiving it was held here, and then we really just haven't coordinated to do anything else. We were having them like together on my dad's side of the family, just in different places wherever we could. There was a few times where I think we had gone to Kansas to spend it with my mom's side, but like we normally just like we stay around the Midwest and like spend it with them.
Mm-hmm.
This year I think it's going to be like a kind of a closed one, and so it's going to be just all of us here, and I think we're gonna do a little bit of a different thing on the food this time around because like every year, my uncle would make it, and man, he cooks really well, but like that shit's so laden with butter that you kind of eat a whole plate and you're like, oh my
Your
god, I'm
arteries are
gonna,
clogging.
yeah, like I feel like I'm gonna die. I think there's a picture that was circulating around last year from my sister where, it was my brother and I post meal and we had just passed out on the like the guest bedroom.
Yeah.
Like we were just hanging out, we were just trying to digest, and we were out within 5 minutes.
An actual food coma?
Yeah, like a legit, we were out for a good hour and a half or so.
That's impressive. I don't think I've ever actually fell asleep because I was full.
Really?
I said it as a gag, as a goof, but I don't think I've ever been like, oh my gosh. I have eaten to the point where I was like if I eat more, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah. I don't know. This was like last year's was like weird. I think what it is, the whole bad thing about it is like we all get together and it's like we're together. It's time to start snacking for 2 hours and we're just drinking like as much as we can and eating all these fucking chips and bread and cheese. And then you fill up and by the time you get to dinner, it's like we have to eat. We can't not eat. And so everyone loads up on food and we all just get really sick.
I will say since becoming of legal drinking age, the addition of alcohol to the Thanksgiving dinner has been a game changer.
I was thinking that the addition of alcohol to anything is a game
It's a
changer.
game changer, yeah.
like adding, I think for now, it used to be like the holidays were where I just get the excuse to eat more than I normally do.
And now
and
it's-
just not
you have
feel
to
too
drink
bad about
more than
it.
you
Yeah,
want
now
to.
it is I just get to drink. Although that rule has been modified lately to just being anytime I want. So like,
Do you think once marijuana is legalized throughout the U.S., people will start making edibles for holiday chickens, turkeys? Wow, that went Thanksgiving turkeys.
holiday turkeys.
Yeah.
I mean, I just expect it to be a thing now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know, there was I was listening to a podcast, shout out to the Sporkful, which is a really cool podcast about food. There was one episode where they had all wanted to, like, taken part in this big marijuana edible like feast. And it was this company that specialized in making edibles, but of different foods and really like good tasting foods. So like they laid out a whole meal for them where there was like cream puffs and Cheez-Its and they were all edibles.
That's
and
incredible.
and they were trying to make it so that you could have a whole meal of edibles and then just have a nice mild high. The problem was they ate a bunch of shit and like they didn't feel anything, and then 12 hours later a bunch of them got hospitalized
Oh my God.
because the high was just way too
much.
high. Yeah.
I got a question for you. Do you prefer the turkey or the honey baked ham?
Oh man.
Or are those both options that you go with, or does your family usually pick one or the other?
I mean, I think we favor the turkey a bit more, and we normally make the turkey like, starting in the morning. I don't know, man. My favorite thing to normally do is just to wait a day and either mix it into the mashed potatoes that are left over or turn them into sandwiches. That's my real deal. I'm not a big fan of like turkey in general just because it seems really dry.
Yeah.
And then ham for me is like
That's why the gravy's there, right?
yeah, I suppose so, but like it still is just, it comes off really dry and kind of spongy. But you throw it on like some bread with some potato salad or some shit, really good, or some cranberry
Or some
sauce.
shit.
Or
I don't know if I want to eat some shit with my.
I just say that, and it's just like part of the, like, it's using fuck
part
with
of your
everything.
repertoire.
Yes, my repertoire. It's like how I can't go. You never like think about yourself and you can't go too many like sentences without saying fuck.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, man, I have a problem.
Whoops.
And you really need to like curb this.
You're starting to speak like a sailor.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, it's just, you can imbue it in every single sentence, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, it is the most versatile word in the English language.
yeah, you can use
It's a
like
noun,
depending on
it's a verb.
depending on the inflection, it can mean whenever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I did read that when you swear, if you're in pain, it does help with dealing with it. So
Disclaimer: we're not advocating that you
Yes.
swear regularly, but
if you stub your toe in front of your family, you probably should avoid cussing. But
I mean,
if you can do it internally, it helps, I guess. So
hey, but I mean, like, do whatever makes you happy.
yeah, I'm 100% a honey baked ham type of guy, though. The best part of the honey baked ham is the outside edge where
Oh, where it
the
gets all
honey
crusty?
glazed crust
Yeah,
part.
yeah,
Oh,
you know what I'm talking
If
about.
I could just, how bacon's just one section of the pig. If I
Yeah.
could just do that, but with the corner piece of the honey baked ham,
yeah, I know.
dude,
Dude.
I would drown in that stuff. It's so good.
That's why I really like burnt ends, or like
Yeah.
or like when you take a steak and you just kind of like sear it
You ever go
real
to
hard.
Black Dog in Urbana
hell is
when you're
that?
down there?
No.
It's this hot dog place that they sell burnt ends, and they always sell out really fast because it's delicious. But all this food talk's making me hungry. I need to eat when I go home.
I know. And I think this year we're doing a little bit of a different mix on the traditional Thanksgiving food. Like, we're not going to have a traditional turkey.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we're going to do is I'm going to make this pasta with like a pumpkin sauce and throw in some like turkey sausage, as part of that. I think we're going to make some other things too. We're going to have cranberry wine instead of cranberry spread or whatever.
Nice.
We're going to just try and like make everything a little bit different, I think the only thing that's going to stay is maybe stuffing.
Maybe make a turducken. Have you ever seen that video where it's The old lady, she's like,
Is that from Epic Mealtime?
no,
from
it's not
back in the day.
It feels like it's from like an Adult Swim thing or like an SNL skit, but it's like some old lady that's just like, she just cusses a bunch throughout the video. She's like, I'm gonna stuff this duck inside the chicken, inside the turkey to make a turducken. That's
Jesus.
the most fucking disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. It's really funny. It's a classic. So it's very much in the Thanksgiving season. So anybody who wants a good video,
Have you ever like tried like those fried turkeys? Have you seen that happening? People
fried turkeys?
Yeah, people will deep fry their turkey instead of baking it.
Like KFC style type
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, they'll just fry the hell out of it.
I don't know about that. I feel like the skin on a turkey is already hard enough, and
I've never had
it,
one, but like, yeah, I'd try it for sure. There's not much I wouldn't try.
No.
But like, that's like one of those fads that I saw going around.
fried turkey.
Yeah, like they get a big like fryer, a big circular cylindrical thing, and they just dunk the turkey and it fries it.
If it was done fresh, I think that would be good. But if they sold it
Yeah, it'd be kind of
off the
nasty.
shelf, because that makes me think of those whole canned turkeys or whole canned chickens.
Yeah.
and then you pour them out, and it's just a blob
Ew,
of
God.
gelatinous fat that's coagulated together and just
That was like the worst combination of words I've ever heard.
I just picked the worst possible words to describe it.
What's your least favorite Thanksgiving food that you normally have to eat?
Well, I don't have to eat anything because I'm an adult
wow,
and I can
gee.
choose what I want.
Oh man, fucking badass over here.
I don't know. Oh, sometimes obviously I'm Filipino, so we have Filipino food at our Thanksgiving, which is awesome. But I don't like all Filipino foods, and dinuguan sometimes shows up.
Oh, man.
So it's dried pig's blood and pork, basically, for anybody who's unfamiliar with it.
It's like it's like adding insult to injury. It's
Yeah.
like you kill the pig and you cook the pig in its own like thing. So.
And there are totally people who like it, obviously, but it's an acquired taste. And the couple of times I've tried to eat it just to be like, I should give this another shot. Nope.
do they try and trick you by calling it chocolate soup?
That's what everyone says happens, but my mom never did that. But she never really made that as part of her regular cooking. Like, it only shows up at Filipino parties that I go to. But whenever I see that around, I'm just like, no, thank you. I'll just stick to the honey baked ham.
Yeah, right. Honey baked ham. Do you guys have the fried pork skin there?
Yeah, sometimes there's a lechon there, and usually that's reserved for literally any other kind of party. But whenever it shows up, it's
For all y'all that haven't had lechon, man, that's some.
It's
good
basically
stuff.
a whole fried pig. Like, the entire pig
Yeah.
is fried.
It's kind of jarring, but like really, really good.
If you don't look at the face, then it's cool. But yeah, it's delicious. The skin is the best part. It'll totally
it's like
clog
one of
your
those.
arteries.
It's like one of those things. Just like if you don't name it, it's harder to give it away.
Yeah. At least it's not like balut. We don't have any
Oh
of
Jesus! Yeah, God.
that. I licked it once, and that was enough for me to be like, oh no, the taste and smell combination is just too
It
bad.
really is just one of the most. I don't know. It's one of the harder ones to get.
For
put
anybody who
down.
doesn't know, balut is basically a semi-born chick inside an egg. So think of a hard-boiled egg, but instead of a yolk, the yolk has almost developed fully into a chick. So when you bite into the egg, you get the egg, but you also get the crunching of almost fully formed bones and a preborn bird inside of it. I don't know.
Oh,
Just
God.
like the idea, me telling you about it is pretty much as gross as it looks, but there are people out there who like it and view it as a delicacy. So whatever, more for them.
I think my dad's mom really liked it, and like my dad's white, and so like
Yeah.
he like my grandma really liked balut when she had it or something. Like
Surprising.
that. Yeah, I mean, as much as it can be.
Yeah.
I think my least favorite food when it comes to Thanksgiving. Sometimes if people make like green bean casserole, depending on how well it's made, it can be like kind of questionable. Or like I'm not a huge fan of cranberry sauce like on most things. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, there's just a few things that I never really got to, but otherwise, like I'll stuff myself. Especially like stuffing is my all-time favorite Thanksgiving
Just the
food.
stuffing?
Yeah,
Not even the
yeah, just
turkey?
stuffing. There's like if I could just fill a plate with stuffing and eat that, I totally would.
Be pretty good.
It's great. I don't know.
Just
man.
slather that on like a piece of bread and call it a day.
Yeah.
Do you always starve yourself before so that you have enough room?
No way, dude. We just we snack because
Or is this throughout the entire day? It's not just
yeah,
like,
we kind of get up. The last Thanksgiving we had, I remember waking up and we just started drinking and casual, but like we just start snacking like around 11ish or so while we're making all of our food. And so we'll have like a whole platter of like wheat thins or like other sort of crisp like things and some cheese and some dips
Finger
out.
foods.
Yeah, and you sort of like you just fill up on that for the entire day. And so it would be smart to fast the entire day and then eat so you don't kind of feel like shit afterwards. But like, I don't know. There's something just about being around everyone. You just kind of want to compulsively eat things.
You know, I have that issue where I just want to eat with my eyes, so I end up taking way more on my plate than I probably should.
No, that's like my biggest issue is just like, yeah, I can eat this and I really can't
But
eat
there's
this.
a point in the day when I start to eat the Thanksgiving food, not because I'm hungry, but because it tastes good. And I kind of had that issue before, just in general, where it's like
The Thanksgiving
I kept eating
threshold.
yeah. I just want to eat because it tastes good. It's not even because I'm hungry. But then maybe I should just chew it in my mouth and absorb all the flavor, and then spit out whatever.
I've heard of that
is.
before. It's like it tastes really good. You just get all the flavor out and then you just dump it out.
Yeah, then you don't have to absorb as many of the calories. Although that could be
not-
good or bad depending on what your purpose for eating is.
Sounds like the most sadomasochistic thing I could think of.
It's like being bulimic without having to throw up.
Yeah. Oh wow. You were just really on it today with this like really volatile imagery. Describing that turkey earlier was like already pretty much, and then you had to just throw that in there too.
Well, it's true. That's some of the things about it are gross.
I don't know. Where do you rank like the holiday food on Thanksgiving to the holiday food on Christmas? Is there like a difference at all? I feel like we have the same food.
I feel like Christmas, well, depending on, because some people like to go out to fancy restaurants, but I think
Really?
for us, since we have it with the whole family at one of the houses, it's just another potluck. And then it kind of is just the same food that shows up at any other regular Filipino party, because at that point it's just a bunch of Filipinos in a house. So, which I'm okay with, because Filipino parties and foods are awesome. So
You're kind of like expected to eat as much as you can though at those things. I don't know, like between the two holidays, there's really not much difference other than the fact that sometimes you'll get a fruitcake, which is like the best use of, it's like the best type of doorstop you could ever get for a present.
especially if it's from years before when it's calcified and just.
This is kind of an unpopular opinion, but like, speaking of like fruitcake, I'm really not a fan of that Italian panettone.
Yeah, my mom gets that too, and I don't know why.
Just it looks like it'd be really good and that it would be kind of moist, but you eat into it, it's kind of dry.
It crumbles too much.
Yeah, right. And there's fruit in it. It's like I'm not a huge fan of oatmeal raisin cookies because they're like the most deceptive of cookies. You bite into it thinking those raisins are chocolate chunks, and you get deceived by it. And then like panettone is the same way. Like these raisin clusters are like, they look like chocolate, not chocolate.
Well, I feel like without raisins, it could totally be a good like auxiliary food. Like you could eat it with something else.
Do you really want to eat something if you call it an auxiliary food?
Okay, maybe if I give it a technical name like that, it'd be really bad. But
I think like calling mac and cheese a side dish is the most disrespectful thing, right?
Well, it could be like a coffee cake type thing if it didn't have the crappy raisins in it. But the raisins ruin it, so it's like, I don't want to eat this by itself, and eating it with something better doesn't make it any less bad. So why do I want to eat it at all?
It's more of a caveat than like an accessory.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, here you get this really nice food, but you also have to have the panettone.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, back to that question between Thanksgiving. If we're talking about the whole holiday season, does Halloween have food other than
Candy?
Copious amounts of candy?
Nobody really has Halloween dinner, do they?
Right?
Yeah,
I don't think so. How come that isn't a part of it? Because is Halloween still considered part of the holiday season, right?
What holiday season? Like the last part of the year?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that holiday season always meant from like Halloween to New Year's.
Oh, I always consider Halloween to be its own standalone, like,
Just
renegade holiday, like it's just there.
October.
It's that one where you don't gather with family. You go around, you dress up in something, and like you eat a lot of candy and you feel sick. If you could have like Halloween food, what would you make?
I like the ideas when they make the food look disgusting, but it ends up tasting pretty good. Like when really skilled bakers can make cakes look like gross zombies or something like that, but it's just like a regular cake.
I was watching a Food Network show like around that time, and I just remember watching they had some sort of Halloween bake-off, and that food looked really gross.
But it was like real high quality.
Yeah, but it was an actual cake or something like that.
So I'd do that for Halloween dinner.
like cakes.
Yeah.
Just a straight sweet
Yeah,
fest.
yeah. It's still sweets, but it looks disgusting.
Yeah, I'd go for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all into sweets. Like I'll take sweets any day, time of day.
I have a real bad sweet tooth, but my sweet tooth changes. Sometimes I want fruity sweets, like I almost said Smurfs, not Smurfs,
Wow.
Smarties, or like
That's a weird Freudian
Laffy
slip.
Taffies or Sour Patch Kids, which it usually is on that side. But then sometimes I'll just want chocolate.
I definitely get the whole pumpkin thing around now, though. Like, if you
Pumpkin
start,
spice,
I mean, like pumpkin spice is like, you know, if
basic
you have
bitch thing.
if you have too much of it, it gets overpowering. But like, you know, you can make a lot of things with pumpkins. Like, I like pumpkin pie a whole lot. But then also you can make like pumpkin bread. You can use pumpkin filling as a substitute for making cakes too, because it's so sweet and so moist, and so you can do lots of things with it. I have this pumpkin pasta sauce that I've really been liking.
Pumpkin pasta sauce.
Yeah, it's a pasta sauce, and it's got a pumpkin Tuscan vibe to it. It's really, really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's not like sweet pumpkin; it's a really savory pumpkin. And so, like, I don't know, I'm all into trying different things with it and trying to like make it useful during the holiday season. I'm a big like pumpkin pie proponent for your alliteration there.
Yeah. I was gonna say good use of your English tropes.
Yeah. My that AP English test really paying
that
off.
One really paid off
6 years later.
Here's something that I want to bring up about this time of the year. What about, do you do a Friendsgiving? I know that that's become, well, I don't know if it's been a popular, I guess, tradition during Thanksgiving, but
I have a better question. Why haven't we done Friendsgiving?
I don't know. Well,
we suck. Are we even friends?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
We're more like co-hosts at this time.
I mean, we're kind of just like acquaintances. Yeah. Even at that, we're just part of the same show. Yeah. If we haven't really done a Friendsgiving, we can't really be friends, I guess.
I'm gonna be honest though. I kind of like the atmosphere around a Friendsgiving more than regular Thanksgiving.
I think it's because it's a little more. Yeah,
you're with
chill,
people
right?
in your circle.
Yeah, because a lot of times when you're doing Thanksgiving, you're with your family, and like family's great, but you also can't be like the silly,
as rambunctious.
Yeah, or the
it's
kind of
not the
like,
same side that you show to your regular
if
friends,
I were
right?
having Friendsgiving with like a bunch of my pals or like people from school and like all of my friends, it'd be a totally different time. Yeah. Namely, we'd probably be wasted.
Yeah. It's the time to be a bunch of degenerates with the same amount of food that you would have at a regular Thanksgiving family dinner.
Yeah, I don't know. Any chance to be a degen would be fun. Yeah. We should do that though. I think getting a large group of people for Friendsgiving would be cool. It'd
be a good excuse to try and catch up with other people that normally we don't hang out with either. If we,
it's more of like a tool for us to like to quell all the people we've cut out.
Yeah.
Hey, I cut you off a few years ago. I just wanted to check back in.
Do we make the Facebook invite and then everyone just replies maybe, but doesn't show up?
That's the hard maybe is one of the keystones now of like Facebook culture.
It might as well be no.
It might as well be no. It's the same as like clicking interested.
It's for those events. I always view yes. Okay, I'm going. Maybe is like a no, but I'm being nice about how I'm saying it. And then if you just hit no, it's like a fuck you.
It's insulting at that point. Yeah, if you hit no and you don't explain why you're not coming, you're just insulting them. Uh-huh. I've been bad this last few months. Like people have invited me to things and I'll say yes because I fully intend to go. And then the night will come and I'm like, wow, I'm tired. I'm going to stay in tonight.
Well, I don't blame people who flake for good reasons. Well, at that point, it's not even flaking. It's just something else happened and you're just like, well,
I mean,
the interest of my health.
I appreciate you trying to defend me. I still think I'm flaking.
Well, okay. If you're going to put that guilty weight on yourself, then
yeah, I mean,
all right.
I really want to do a Friendsgiving this year. I was invited to one and we're trying to plan it out right now. And like, it just seems like such a good idea.
I mean, you're skilled enough in the kitchen that you could totally contribute with, I don't know, probably
all of it,
baking stuff if you want.
Yeah, I could do that. I'm going to bake as many things as I can this holiday season, actually. So like,
you're gonna make any like snowman cookies or something, like make them fun, or are you just gonna try different stuff?
Oh, I mean, I can make them fun. If you want them to be fun, Aaron, I can make them fun.
Just don't use any fondant because although it's really good at decorating, it tastes like garbage.
It really does. Actually,
It's just chalk. It just tastes like chalk.
I made a fondant out of marshmallows one time. That was really good.
Well, if it's good, then yeah. But
Yeah, I
whatever
mean-
regular stuff that people on Ace of Cakes use,
It looks
oh,
really good, doesn't
yeah.
it? It looks like you could take a bit of it and it would taste kind of
Yeah.
sweet, but like no, it
No, it's-
literally tastes like Play-Doh.
Yeah, it's dirt.
Yeah, it's like living out that childhood dream of eating that Play-Doh, and it's exactly what you think it tastes
exactly. You get tricked by the colors, and you're just like, nope,
like. Yeah.
not what I expected.
I don't know. I'm going to make some pumpkin pies. Pumpkin pie, maybe some sweet potato pie. Have you had sweet potato pie?
I usually don't like sweet potatoes that much.
What
to
the
be
hell?
honest,
Why?
I don't know.
They're
It's
full
just-
of vitamin A.
I mean, I get why people like them. It's not like I hate it. It's more of a I'm indifferent. So if it comes to me, then sure, but it won't be at the top of my list. So
Yeah, understandable.
yeah,
Like, I don't know. I'm a really big proponent for sweet potatoes. Like, I don't know. They're full of lots of good stuff. I don't know. I don't want to plug my health, my health
yeah.
style.
You're sounding like you're gonna go on a tirade about trying to keep people nutritious and delicious.
I just like never tried a sweet potato pie, and I'm really curious to see what it's like. Apparently, it tastes just like pumpkin pie, and so I'm a little bit wary about what it's going to end up like. But I don't know. Down to try it.
I'm all for taking foods and completely transforming the flavor so that it doesn't at all resemble the base ingredient. So if you took sweet potato pie, but you somehow made it taste like, I don't know, cherries, then that'd be cool. Well, I mean, that's a real big jump, but like people will be like, asparagus. I don't really like regular asparagus that much, but if you can make it taste super good somehow, then
I think like most vegetables, people don't really like the flavor of them anyways. They're just like seasoning them so much that it tastes less like the vegetable.
yeah. It's like the same idea as drowning salad in dressing. So
Yeah.
that you're basically just eating dressing.
It's like when you go to Portillo's and like you get a chopped salad and it's kind of like a bit of lettuce and they dump a bunch of cheese and,
Yeah.
and like bacon on it.
This is turning into more of a food podcast.
It's the food cast
than-
this time around.
than Thanksgiving. What do we have next?
I
on?
mean, we said it earlier, right? Like basically every holiday in the U.S. there's some reason to eat.
Yeah.
It's like some excuse to eat followed by something else. And for me, Thanksgiving only has the eating.
Yeah.
It is the eating and then the traditional like sleeping after
Well,
the
it's-
eating.
Thanksgiving, it's kind of like a nondescript holiday. Like there's not that much to it. I mean,
We're kind of like we're celebrating this thing that happened between like two groups of people,
yeah.
which is kind of like okay, it's all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's other instances where this could have been like another holiday, like
Like it transforms into something else altogether.
yeah. Like there could have been some other like agreement between people that could have been another holiday, and we could call it something else and have another
Yeah, like-
excuse to eat something.
Like it was the 100-year anniversary of World War One, right? So we could have been thankful for that instead. And Thanksgiving all of a sudden becomes thankful for that war being over
Yeah,
instead
that's
of
true.
people meeting. So
Yeah, I just think that like Thanksgiving is such an arbitrary holiday.
right?
Yeah, and like there's not really much to it except for like your family and eating.
Isn't the story of the Pilgrims and the Native Americans like they super botched it to make it sound way nicer? Like the whole idea of them getting together and being like, yeah, let's have food and fun together. In reality, was more like,
Weren't they contentious?
yeah, that's what I thought. Like it's more like they're grudgingly doing it as more
Maybe
like
not begrudgingly, but like they
it's
were,
more of like an armistice rather than like doing it being happy with each other.
It's like you have that really when you're learning about Thanksgiving, you have this like happy, like everyone's got
Yeah.
a smiley face and they're bringing their food to the potluck.
yeah.
No, I think times might have been a bit different.
Yeah, but that happens with any sort of history. I think they just sort of muddle it.
We were talking about this earlier. The thing I can't stop thinking about with like Thanksgiving historically is the stupid pilgrim outfit, right? Like everyone knows what that is.
I'm gonna Google it right now. It just looks stupid. I mean, if no, not to shit on the people at the time because that's probably all that they had and fashion changes or whatever. But like,
I don't know, like
God,
why do they
dude.
have a belt on their hat? It's like a waste of things.
Pilgrim clothes? Well, they say fashion comes in cycles. So do you ever think that the pilgrim look is gonna come back? Like it looks like a witch's outfit for males. It really does. It's kind of like what Amish people wear, sort of.
Yeah, the
Right?
Amish and the pilgrims kind of coalesce for me.
Yeah.
Second time I'm going to use coalesce.
Well,
today.
is that sort of what I mean, I don't really honestly know that much about Amish people aside from they don't really use technology. But
and they like trains.
Is the Pilgrim era sort of what they base it on? Like very low technology, really doing everything by themselves? Like they kind of make sense to me if their clothes look the same. Well, now I'm gonna look up Amish clothes and watch all of the subscribers that we have. They're all Amish people, and wait, no, by the very nature of the Amish people, that means that they probably wouldn't use technology to listen to this, right?
So check that off on historical inaccuracy.
So even if we dump on the Amish people in this I almost said in this pilgrimage, even if we dump on the Amish people on this podcast, it should be okay. So there's our jab on them. Yeah, dude, they kind of look the same. At least the women's clothing is like the same as the pilgrims' clothes.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I mean, have you ever?
I'm not going to make any claims about.
Have you ever seen
being
a
Amish.
pilgrim and an Amish person in the same room at the same time?
I've never really seen a pilgrim.
Future Aaron, insert the Illuminati, X-Files. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
We stumbled onto the next national treasure.
There's my audio joke for the podcast.
Let's rank them now. Let's go ranking.
Rank the holidays or rank Thanksgiving?
Ranking on the holidays.
Okay. Starting from when? Is it Thanksgiving and up, or is it Halloween and up?
We should go. Let's do the big ones. Let's go Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So we got 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
From worst to best or best to worst?
Let's go from worst to best. Number 7 is
So you said Valentine's, Easter, St. Patty's.
Yeah.
Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's, right? Did I say
you said Valentine's twice?
Damn it! What was the one that we missed?
I think you missed July 4th.
Oh yeah, July 4th.
Yeah.
I like the fireworks of July 4th, so that won't be the bottom. I'm gonna go Valentine's
and St. Patrick's Day for me are like bottom 2.
Yeah, Valentine's even less because I've been single for the entirety, so there's no point in it for me. St. Patty's Day because although it's fun and you can drink a lot during that day, you can do that literally any other day of the year that you want. Easter just because there's not a whole lot going on for it. Easter egg hunts were fun when I was a kid, but I don't know. Nowadays there's not that much going for it.
Yeah.
Then I would put I put Halloween before Thanksgiving. Yeah. Thanksgiving ranks higher entirely by the food. Like the food carries Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I would put New Year's because I usually do things with friends that time.
Yeah.
So just because of my personal tradition with New Year's, it's been fun. And then Christmas is the best just because it's the most transformative and expressive of all the holidays, and there's so much to do during that time.
That's some really nice expressive wording for Christmas.
I'm on top of my vocabulary today.
I used coalesce twice, so there's that.
You hit your limit use for that particular word.
Yeah, I've hit the threshold for that. Yeah. I think for me, New Year's and July 4th kind of run in the same, with July 4th maybe edging ahead because it's the same fireworks stuff, but it's warm.
Oh, that's true.
Right? I remember countless times of going out for New Year's and it's just dead ass real cold. Yeah. And I'm just I don't want to do anything. Last year was really bad, actually. My last year's New Year's, I was sick the entire time. Oh, and I'd gotten tickets to go to this club. We bought them in advance, and it was supposed to be really fun. I couldn't drink any champagne. I was too sick. Yeah, it was the worst thing. And then we ended up staying up till 4 or so at some weird party. Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird time.
I'm starting to think about New Year's now for the past couple of years, where every time I've spent it with my friends, they've always brought their significant others. So when the clock strikes 12 and I look around, everyone's just kissing each other. I'm just like, oh.
See, that's where you got to get invited to a singles party and not a couple's friends party.
I don't know. I feel like a specifically singles party would be too cringy, you know? like they're trying to force the idea of everyone being single too much instead of letting it be.
They do announcements during the middle of it. Yeah. Now, I'd like to remind everyone that we're all single here.
We're all single, so go ahead and
It's a bunch of dudes.
Oh.
That's some big
that's the other thing. If you advertise a party as a singles party, you know it's going to be 95% dudes and maybe the one girl.
Oh, man. It sounds horrible.
Yeah, awful.
It sounds scary. So Thanksgiving ranked reasonably high on the list. I think one thing that sort of goes into Thanksgiving that it's different because it's not part of it, but it's kind of associated with it is the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The greatest example of consumerist practice in America.
Yay capitalism.
Yeah, right. Yay, just consumerism and everything like it. I mean, I'd do it. There was a point in time where I would go specifically to buy gray sweatpants, and like a nice pair of gray sweatpants.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
To complete a grout fit or something.
I just really wanted some gray sweatpants.
Okay.
Every year, and like you'd see how well they would be getting, or how they'd be getting better of sorts. And so like I did that for a few years, and then like I really just the big mall near us is Woodfield, and so like you don't really want to spend too much time there.
Yeah, there's too many people in there.
Yeah, Woodfield, for like anyone who doesn't know, is like the 19th largest mall in America and the
it
world,
really?
right? Yeah, I think it's
It's really nice.
I think it's one of the largest malls in the world. And it's just full of people, and especially during Black Friday, it's insane.
Yep.
Like that's not anywhere close to being an overstatement of sorts. It is
Yeah,
packed.
no, it's like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, literally shoulder to shoulder. Like I remember being paranoid about like losing my shit if I'm walking through there.
So I was just imagining you walking through with like a turd in your hand, like you're cupping it, and you're like, "Oh, I hope I don't drop this." And then somebody bumps your shoulder, and you drop it. You're like, "Oh, my shirt, my turd."
It's like you remember in Ice Age when they're like, "Protect the melon."
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, that's the image I was getting.
If you were to go, are you going this year?
What, Black Friday shopping?
Yeah.
I might. I don't know.
I think we should.
I wouldn't be opposed. I've never gone at Woodfield, and I think it'd be kind of interesting just
pretty
to
wild.
see the crazy amount of people that are all camping outside the doors.
I think the worst part about it is just the lines.
Yeah.
Like, there's just lines out of everywhere.
Well, when you go to a place as stuffed as Woodfield, do you only go for one store that you know that you're gonna get something, or do you? Here's a general Black Friday question for you. If you're going to somewhere for Black Friday, do you already know the item that you want that you go for specifically, or do you like browse the entire store and like, oh, this is a good deal, and then you grab that?
I think generally I try to think about stuff that I would want so that I'm not just scrounging around and looking for things that may or may not be on sale. But then, of course, like when I'm there, I'm always like eye shopping and seeing what's around and maybe what I could have and what I could use. But generally, I like to think about what I want.
What are the things that you normally like to get or try to get during Black Friday?
Whenever I go Black Friday shopping, it's always like some sort of clothing that I've needed for a while and that I don't want to pay for otherwise. Like I don't necessarily need it, but it would be nice if I had it.
Okay.
And so like I normally try and buy jeans or like different colored jeans during Black Friday because they might have sales.
Yeah.
I also try and buy coats during Black Friday.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not bad. I also try and go for like electronics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, electronics sometimes go on sale, and then for our watch enthusiast listeners, lots of watches go on sale. Yeah, my one of my favorite brands from Australia, Aeroil, does like a 40% off deal.
Really?
Yeah, and some of their watches are really nice, and so like you can check those out. But a lot of those like luxury items go on sale, especially like the electronics are a big deal. I know Dan, whenever he goes Black Friday shopping, I think they try and find like a TV. You know,
That's pretty good. Yeah.
they get there at midnight or so and they just wait around to pick up a TV.
TVs are definitely one of those items that everybody guns for first.
Yeah.
But that's why Cyber Monday has sort of become a thing. Although with certain websites, their Cyber Monday isn't that great. Like I know Amazon, everyone likes to tout Amazon as being the be all end all of consuming and buying things online, but I don't know. Last year when I looked at their Black Friday deals, it was like kind of their not so good stuff that happened to be on sale, or it's like they don't put any of the things that are worthwhile.
Yeah, maybe like they're trying to clear stock.
Yeah, it's more of just like a liquidation of their beast stock.
Yeah. So they're putting things that are kind of dumpy on sale.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm more of a fan of Cyber Monday just because usually the things that I'm looking for you can't really find in the stores, anyways. Or like if you had to go to a store for it, it'll be like one store in the entire state. Or so it's a lot easier. Like for me, computer parts are gonna be a big thing for me.
That's very true.
And no way in hell am I gonna find like the specific thing that I want at a mall, probably. So
yeah, unless you specifically look for it and like you try and call it in and you just pick it up.
Yeah,
we could invest in some more casting technology.
We could, yeah.
You know?
If they come out with like a good mixer or something, then I'm
actually that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Note to self.
Yeah.
I've thought about picking up a Switch You know, if they ever go on sale.
Good. They're coming out with a lot of bundles, so
Man, the Switch looks so cool, and like I haven't had the urge to buy a gaming system in a long time, and so like this is kind of a big deal for me because it just looks so attractive.
I'm gonna gush all about the Switch whenever we do our video game podcast or can't speak when we do the video game episode. So
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those really aesthetically pleasing gaming
long
systems.
story short, Switch is my favorite system now of all time,
Which is a big deal for Aaron. Like,
how versatile it is. It's both portable and thing. But yeah, video games are gonna be another thing that I'm looking for on Black Friday / Cyber Monday. So
what type of video games are you?
I don't know, just a bunch of things that have been on my ever increasing backlog, like every other person who plays video game or is an enthusiast has. It's always or even like with movie watchers, they're I should watch this, and then maybe they'll go buy a Blu-ray of it, but then they don't watch it, and it just sits there. That's inevitably what will happen to me in a lot of other games. But
playing in that sort of consumerist idea, I don't think I ever buy DVDs or Blu-rays anymore.
Me neither.
You know, I just like, especially now that you can just have the DVD on your iTunes and you can just watch it via the stream.
Yeah, or
it's sort of a whole different thing.
Do a little illegal searching and downloading.
We're not advocating for it, but it's like the swearing thing, right?
Yeah.
My uncle has all of these movies downloaded onto his iTunes, and it's so convenient. I just remember, you know, we couldn't find a DVD. He has like a really huge DVD collection, and if we couldn't find it, we would just watch it on the computer. It's pretty cool, and it's like so versatile. Like so many cool things with that.
Well, having everything in a digital format saves a lot of space, literally.
Yeah.
Because now you don't need to have a wall of videos and DVDs and tapes and stuff, and it's all just in a convenient little app on your laptop that only takes up like a couple inches.
I remember listening to a comedian being like, "Oh man, like we're gonna have laptops for pictures now. We're gonna not have any like photo albums. This will be laptops full of pictures."
Well, they have those photo frames that are a physical frame, but then it kind of cycles through different photos, which I thought was like
it's pretty cool,
a pretty cool idea, right?
I kind of like that.
Yeah. Maybe we'll pick up one of those during Black Friday.
Yeah, it'll be a friendship collage.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Yeah, pre-order your Actually Nothing friendship collages.
Yeah, if we decide to come up with merch, that'll be our first thing. It'll be a picture frame that only shows us.
Yeah.
And not at all gives you the option to put your own photos in it. Just the actual nothing.
Documenting our friendship over the course of a few months as we put together pictures.
For some of the people who are listening to this, they don't even know what we look like.
Yeah, right.
Do you think we should do a face reveal?
Yeah, maybe at the end of it.
Well, most of the people who we've told, obviously, we've only told that.
Well, when we
being our real friends.
Yeah,
when this takes off,
just for this,
we're just a disembodied voices for now.
Yeah, I mean, we sound good, but I think just for the sake of it, we are going to be, looking to launch an Instagram page, and we will do a face reveal at that point.
Yeah.
So you guys can put a face to the voice. Maybe for the better, maybe for worse.
Yeah, make fun of us probably or something. Yeah. I don't know.
I think we should definitely
memeified.
Not really everyone knows that we have a Christmas card picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a classic photo.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
Super high quality. We'll make prints of it so you can hang it up if you want.
Yeah,
that'll be... send it in place of your own family Christmas card. Just be like, send it to your family across the sea, and they'll be like, "The hell is this?" Who are these guys?
Yeah, we're selling substitute cards in case you don't want to take your own.
Make sure you write your own address. It's not coming directly from us. It's from us, but from you.
Yeah. The Actually Nothing cast Christmas card.
That's actually a really funny idea. We'll
have to make that a thing. Yeah. I think that's kind of one of the cooler things we'll get to do is like sort of work into that.
Once we get off the ground.
Yeah, I totally would buy one of those collage things though. Yeah. Like it just takes up so much less space.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you can just hang it up on the wall and have it running through a couple
I feel like the only downfall of that is that you look at the wall and it's like a screensaver.
Yeah.
Right? Like
it's like the equivalent of taping a bunch of laptops onto your wall and just having it be the screensaver the entire time.
Can I have mine be that one where it's a box and it like moves around in like a weird orthogonal angles and it tries to hit this corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the old school Windows screensavers where you're going through the maze, or it's like that long thing of tubes that
I like
just
the tubes one.
Around. Yeah,
the maze is a real throwback. That's like XP, isn't it? Or before 2000 or so.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Windows 98 maybe even.
Holy crap! That was the time of playing Commander Keen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. this really doesn't play into the Thanksgiving conventionally. I just have
A
this
lot
like
of this has been very loosely tied.
very loosely tied to Thanksgiving. I just have this Thanksgiving memory of playing Commander Keen one year. It was really. Do you remember Commander Keen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that for a Thanksgiving day, and it was like a good time.
And that's become your Thanksgiving tradition.
Yeah, it's sort of that's what we do all day, and we power up our old like Windows.
Yeah.
It's still got 2000 on it. Play through Commander Keen. What do you normally like associate with Thanksgiving? Because I think we really touched on a lot of it.
We did. I mean, still the first thing that I think of is like, actually, when I think of Thanksgiving, the very first thing I think of is, everybody's done them when they were kids. They make the hand arts and craft where they trace their hand on a brown piece of paper, and that's
Which I think is total trash, considering like for Christmas we get so much more art.
Yeah.
For Valentine's Day we give people our art, except for like on Thanksgiving you come home with this shitty picture of a hand tracing.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
you trace your hand, and then your thumb is
the head of the turkey.
You draw a beak on it and eyes.
What a
and
fucking
then
scam.
Your other fingers are supposed to be its feathers, I guess.
That's a scam if I've
It
ever
looks
heard
more,
of it.
when I think about it, they're less of feathers and more like abnormal
Bandages.
growths that are coming out of the back of this
Can you-
horrible nightmare turkey.
Can you imagine if a turkey had those things that could move them independently?
Like they still bend the same way a finger moves, and they kind of make that gross squishy sound whenever they move.
Yeah. Part of the allure of a turkey is that if it approaches you, it can grab you. Like that.
But it doesn't grab you head on. Like it turns to the side and sort of just envelops your body with its gross spindly appendages.
That sounds like a good SCP entrance.
Yeah, we should write that into our SCP and submit it to the database.
Yeah, that's going to be our entrance. That'll be the one thing we offer up at the end of the episode.
That really should be. Like, that's a good idea for an SCP.
Yeah, coming soon, the SCP episode.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that. And yes, that'll be a good component to the episode. We'll make our list, but then also
We can think
we'll
of our
go
own.
into detail about this gross drawn turkey that ends up becoming a real thing.
Yeah, and the thumbnail for it will be the turkey.
Yeah.
Will be the idea.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the last thing I'm thankful for is the amount of subscribers who are listening to us
10
regularly.
people. And
We love you.
Some of them were bots because I got an email that was like, some of your listens and subscribers were bots. So we deleted them. But,
Thanks.
the real people that have been listening to this, thank you, because you're totally part of a reason for why we're doing this at all.
And we're thankful for you, and we love you.
Yeah.
In a non-platonic sort of way.
Yeah. We're making this totally sexual.
Yeah. I think we'll remember you on our Valentine's Day episode, too.
Yeah.
Take out a Valentine's Day
Well,
card.
maybe for the Valentine's Day episode, it should just be all ASMR. It's just us really pressed up against the mic. So here, let's do a little dry run
A demo of the
Yeah.
ASMR.
So, it'll be us talking like this, and
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
oh, that's a good word.
All right, Valentine's Day.
We'll
We'll have to have the tinfoil going too.
Yeah, but
some popping corn or
Why
whatever.
how come with ASMR it always has to be like wet mouth sounds? You know what I mean? It's
ASMR.
Lots of S sounds too.
ASMR, yeah. That's Valentine's Day. It's very sexual.
I've always imagined it that like someone's like, going on each side of the mic. Have you seen that one video where it's that one girl who's like, hey, and they're
I could do that effect man. Here, you talk, do your whispering, and then in the audio, I'll make it go from left to right ear or something.
this is the ASMR demo.
Even I'm looking at the waveform right now, and even the waveform looks gross and sexual somehow. if there was a way to make it look that way, ASMR is the way to do it.
Yeah, we're really giving you a lot of content here.
Giving myself a lot of editing responsibilities.
Yeah.
too.
Anyways, we're very thankful for you guys.
Yeah.
And if you want to join us on Friendsgiving, maybe next year.
We were talking about this as like, yeah, we're gonna do this year. It should be a fun thing, and we're like, well, maybe you guys can. We're subjecting you guys to the maybe button before you even have a chance.
Yeah. This is us pressing the interested button on having you at our Friendsgiving.
Oh wow, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're in control. You don't have any say.
If you want to join us, apply now. We'll think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
Friendsgiving, it becomes a thing that you have to send in an application. And
Yeah, it's
what you bring to the table, literally.
Yeah. Literally, it's an elitist club now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into that.
There you go.
All right,
high
guys.
class, upper class Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
Well, we got anything else?
No.
That it? Well, I hope everybody else has a good Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving or whatever the hell you celebrate during this nondescript.
It's not like Christmas.
Placeholder holiday, as you put it.
That's what it is, man. It's an accessory holiday.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.